The Secret Balcony Garden, a 30-day transformation storybook, The Forgotten Balcony. Amelia Green, a 28-year-old city gardener with bright hazel eyes and messy auburn hair tied in a practical bun, stood on her small, neglected balcony. Her apartment, tucked in the heart of a bustling city, was filled with colorful books, cozy cushions, and a single green plant struggling in a dusty pot. But the balcony, her only outdoor space, was barren. Cracked tiles, dusty railings, and an old chair sat abandoned under the harsh sunlight. Amelia sighed. She was passionate about nature, loved sustainable living, and dreamed of turning tiny city spaces into green havens. Her friends called her the balcony whisperer because she always saw potential in forgotten corners. Today, Amelia made a promise. She would transform this forgotten balcony into a lush secret garden oasis, full of flowers, herbs, and life in just 30 days. Day 1, a seed of hope. Amelia knelt down, her fingers tracing the dusty edges of an empty planter. She wore a faded denim apron with pockets full of seeds and tiny tools, and her sneakers had smudges of old soil. "I can do this," she whispered, her voice calm yet determined. She pulled out small packets of seeds, tomatoes, basil, mint, marigolds, and sunflowers. Each packet was labeled with her careful handwriting, showing her love for detail and organization. She sprinkled the first seeds into rich, dark soil, her hands feeling the texture, letting the crunch of soil and soft hum of the city become as soothing as Simfer's symphony. Little did Amelia know, these tiny seeds were the first whispers of a secret garden that would inspire city dwellers around the world. From New York to Tokyo, London to São Paulo. Day 5, the first planters. By day 5, Amelia was full of energy. Her hazel eyes sparkled as she measured recycled wooden crates, transforming them into planters. She wore a wide-brimmed straw hat, shielding her from the summer sun while her auburn hair peeked out, messy but lively. As she hammered and painted, neighbors peeked over their balconies. Some waved, curious about this tiny garden project. Amelia smiled warmly. She loved sharing her passion for urban gardening, sustainable living, and eco-friendly DIY projects. She filled the planters with soil, carefully planting each seed. Water droplets dripped onto the soil, and the soft osmosis of watering filled the air, a satisfying and calming rhythm. "Every seed is a promise," she whispered. Day 10, first signs of life. On the 10th day, tiny green shoots began to peek through the soil. Amelia, wearing her paint-splattered gloves and a bright yellow scarf, bent down to admire them. "These little ones are strong," she said softly. The sun glistened on the tiny leaves, creating a magical sparkle. Butterflies and bees, drawn to the fragrance of marigolds and herbs, began to visit, their delicate wings brushing against the seedlings. Amelia explained to the camera she was filming, "This is urban gardening at its best: mindfulness, self-care, and a connection to nature. Even a small balcony can be a sanctuary." Day 15, a balcony becomes a community. By the 15th day, the balcony was alive. Basil and mint leaves released refreshing scents, while tiny tomatoes peeked from the vines. Amelia, now wearing a cozy knitted cardigan and her favorite gardening boots, installed a small bird feeder. A curious sparrow hopped closer, chirping as if welcoming the garden to life. Neighbors began leaving tiny notes. "Beautiful work." "Inspiring." Amelia smiled, her bright hazel eyes twinkling with pride and joy. She understood the global appeal of urban green spaces, how something as small as a balcony could inspire eco-friendly living, stress relief, and a connection to nature across continents. Day 20, Color and Magic. By day 20, Amelia's secret garden was bursting with color. Sunflowers stretched toward the sky, marigolds painted the corners golden, and small vines climbed along the railing. Amelia, with her auburn hair tied into a loose braid, arranged fairy lights and small decorative stones around the planters. "This is my balcony paradise," she whispered, stepping back to admire the view. The garden was not only visually stunning, but also a mental health sanctuary, a place to relax, reflect, and breathe. Even city dwellers from Paris to Mumbai would see this transformation online and be inspired to create their own balcony oasis. Windowsill farm or tiny patio garden. Day 30, the big reveal. Finally, day 30 arrived. Amelia stood on her balcony, now unrecognizable. Twinkling fairy lights, lush greenery, fragrant herbs, and ripe cherry tomatoes created a magical oasis. The balcony glowed softly under the setting sun. Amelia, wearing her favorite green apron and a sun hat with tiny painted flowers, looked around with tears of joy. She had turned barren concrete into a secret garden bursting with life, color, and inspiration. This is proof that no matter where you live, whether it's a tiny apartment in Tokyo, a high-rise in New York, or a cozy flat in London, you can create beauty. You can grow life. You can transform your space one seed at a time, she said. The ASMR of gentle raindrops falling on leaves added the perfect ending touch. Satisfying, relaxing, and mesmerizing for anyone watching.